Maria, Maria, welcome back to the gallery. It's a pleasure to have you here as usual. Can you tell us a little bit about your monolith sculptures, the making, the inspiration, the color palette? Talk as much as you want about your beautiful pieces.
Sure. Okay, yes, I call them monolith because of their monolithic nature. As I was telling you before, in this particular type of piece that you're looking at here, the linear monolith, you can see more my architectural background in the volume, the shapes, the displacements of the piece, which evoke architecture really. Also here, you can see texture, lines, movement, a lot of light, and a lot of color. I love to experiment with color, with the way color relate to each other. And something very special about this glass that I used, which is full-size glass, is that when arranged in this way, when I use sheet glass, all these tiny bubbles appear in the inside of the piece, and that's called champagne effect. And it's, it's really rich. I mean, it gives the pieces a lot of texture and movement, and you discover as you study them, you start to discover all the things going on inside. So
can you tell me about how long does it take to make these pieces? A little bit, what are the steps of the process?
Sure. Well, the first step, of course, is to conceive the piece, to design it, and then when you are actually making it, in this case, for example, I work with sheet glass, and these lines are called stringers, and these are a combination of stringers and rods. And of course, you have to begin cutting glass, etc., assembling the piece, and making a mold that, in this case, I use vermiculite molds, which is a material that can withstand the temperatures that I work with these pieces, which is around 15,000 Fahrenheit degrees. Okay, and the length of the work, depending on how long I take, assembling it, which can be maybe in one day I assemble the piece one morning, and the time that I need in the kiln for them to be ready will depend on the thickness of the piece, no? So it may take from 2 days to 4 days in this type of work. Now, if I were going to make thicker pieces, I would need a lot more time than that, because you need to heat the glass very, very slowly and reach the final temperature that you're aiming for. And then you have to go back super, super slowly, so glass becomes from hard to liquid, something like honey, and then again, it becomes hard. So that whole process has to be very controlled in order to achieve a successful piece.
Can I ask you about this beautiful piece, the solid,
the Torre Muralla? Yes, these pieces are, as you can see, very textural, and in this type of work, I make a mold, especially to achieve all these in and outs of this carving. No, this is kind of like glass carving, and I'm focusing on the light I can achieve, and also. At this point of my life, I was feeling vulnerable. Oh, that word.
No worries.
But, I feel I needed protection. So that's why
You build that wall.
Yes.
Perfect. I think that you have given us a very complete description about your beautiful monoliths. So now we will
Thank you.
keep the journey in another one of your beautiful creations.